All right, what's going on, everybody? Zachary here, back to episode 3 of Road to $25,000 monthly recurring revenue. All right, today's episode, outreach. What does outreach do? Outreach gets us money. Okay, here's a script, cold call script. Okay, so all this, cold call. Why do I do cold calls? It's personable. You're able to talk to people. Because remember, our whole thing here is that we're locally relevant. So this whole script is tying into that locally relevance, local relevancy, right? All right, hey, so here's the script. Hey, this is Zach with Local Clicks. How's your day going? I mean, introduction, right? Super simple, you know. The whole key of this should be like 30 seconds. These are business owners. Do not waste their time. Just don't do any BS. They're busy. It's just like me, you know, you see my whiteboard, see how many things I gotta do? You think I wanna be pitched for 3 minutes and somebody waste my time? No, get to the point, get to it quick, they'll appreciate it, I promise you. Hey, this is Zach with Local Clicks. How's your day going? They will, let's go ahead over here. So they'll say like response, you know, they'll be like, oh, my day's going great, you know, how are you? They either may know you, they may not, right? People typically aren't gonna hang up from you if you sound like a real person. Don't sound AI, like just sound like a genuine person, right? I actually do marketing for owner's name over at business's name. Why are we adding this? Whoever you're cold calling needs to know this person, right? So think of it in this way. I'm just gonna use best friend. Hey, I actually do marketing for your best friend over at your best friend's business. They are on our $297 per month package. Within the second sentence that I say to them, I know their best friend. If somebody called me and said, hey, I do marketing for you know, someone that you know or somebody that you're acquainted with or something like that, it really adds in that relevancy of how you guys know each other and how you're relevant to this person that does not know you, because it is, you know, sometimes they will be cold. Other times they'll be warm, they may know of you. Expect everything to be cold, in my opinion. You know, so they'll say something like, oh yeah, you know, I heard he's having great results. You know, they'll say something here, you know, wow, good job, or whatever it may be, right? They're gonna say something to you. And then just say, you know, it's super simple. We help local business in Winchester, locally relevant in Winchester, show up to get better, show up better on Google and get more calls without a crazy high price tag. And they're gonna think back to the price that we said earlier. Oh wow, this isn't a lot. In my opinion, I like saying the price up front because the last thing I wanna do is waste my time. If they can't afford that and they think this is too high, then I'm not going and spending an appointment or 2 hours, you know, running an audit for these people, because it wastes my time and it wastes theirs. You know, some people, like, it can work, but if they're not qualified as a lead, then you probably shouldn't be calling them anyways. But depending on how they respond to this, if they're like, oh yeah, it's really not that much at all, it's a great deal because my best friend is having good results, I've heard him talk about it, I've heard great things, you know. I'd love to swing by your office, show you what we're doing for them. Once again, you can even insert their name, you know. Hey, I'd love to swing by your office, show you what we're doing for your best friend and see if it would be a good fit for you. Do you have time later this week to chat in person? Most sales professionals, they'll turn this into a if-then statement or AB. Do you have time to speak later this afternoon or tomorrow morning? Will that work? Absolutely. Once again, am I trying to just drive sales? No. I mean, would it be better? Yeah, probably. I like going this route because it seems more natural, right? Because I already know somebody that they know. I live in the same city that they live in. My business runs in the same city that they're in. So now it's like, hey, you know, it should be super loose and super like, you're really building trust. You don't want to come across, in my mind, whenever I hear me knowing what I know about sales, somebody says, hey, you know, do you have time later this afternoon or tomorrow morning, when they're kind of giving me that this or that, it almost seems kind of salesy and I feel like I'm going to be pitched and I just don't want to be that. So we're almost going a different route with this, right? So that's really the whole script. hey, this is Zach with Local Clicks. How's your day going? They respond, I actually do marketing for your best friend over your best friend's business. They're on our $297 per month package. They'll respond with something. It's super simple. We help local businesses in Winchester show up better on Google and get more calls without a crazy high price tag. I'd love to swing by your office, show you what we're doing for them, and see if it would be a good fit for you. What is your schedule like later this week? And then from there, book in person. Notice how all my stuff is in person too, because these are local business owners. Remember, relevancy, in their city, know their business, know them. Now they're gonna go see my face. Easier close, in my opinion. And then from here, you're just gonna bring them like your offer, and then I bring them like an audit too of, hey, I've done some, I'll go this way so you can kind of see me a little better, but hey, I've done some research on your business, right? Because this way, when you go and meet up with them, you can bring them, like I offer them like a local SEO audit in a sense, as well as like their socials and stuff. But really it's just simple fixes of, hey, if we don't work together, here's this information to provide value. What does that do? They'll either buy from you later or you build a very good connection even though you don't sell them, right? Because let's say that I go to somebody, hey, here's some stuff that I found that could help you. Oh, well, we're not interested in this right now. I can't see how many people have called me later that said that exact same line. They're like, hey, we actually do need you. And why do they do that? Because I provided value up front. Now, referencing back to this price tag, you just need to make a good call. If it's too high of a price, you can still offer this, but you just kind of have to know the difference between when the lemon's worth the squeeze, right? If it's a single man band, like some 16-year-old, no offense to them, everyone's got to start somewhere, but it's probably not worth your time to go and pitch them this whole thing, and go meet up with them. That may sound, not the best, but it's really not. Like at the end of the day, it's a business that's trying to make money, but it's also trying to serve another purpose, right? So it really just kind of depends. You can go meet up with an unqualified lead if you do get something out of it. Sometimes I do that just because I genuinely like the person, and I'll give them this audit knowing that they can never afford me, right? So it's really just, you got to see if the lemon's worth the squeeze, because you got to be super dialed in with your stuff. You can't really be wasting time. And the harsh reality is that we can't help everybody, unfortunately. Okay, so down here, breaking down the numbers, right? 'Cause everything has to be analytical. Here's the script. How do we make this happen? $25,000 divided by our $297 price tag is 84.175, whatever, or basically 85 clients. We need 85 clients to achieve $25,000 per month in 1 year. This is the timeline that we're putting it. Could you do it faster? Absolutely. I don't want to burn myself out. So 85 clients divided by 12 months is 7 clients per month, or $2,079 per month added in monthly recurring revenue. This, vague, I don't know what it's going to be. All of this data down here is going to be tracked in a Google Excel sheet, or not a Google Excel sheet, a Google sheet, just to track all the data on it. But so basically what I need to do, and this is really not a whole lot at all, 35 people talk to a month, and then at this 20% close rate, that'll be about 7. Right, so let me get my phone real quick to see here. Okay, so 35 people, we'll just say on average like 30 days, or I don't know, how many working days is there? We'll just say like 24. I'm not sure the exact number of it. But it's basically like two people on working days, depending however much you want to do. Can you increase this number? Absolutely, absolutely. This is the current threshold that I feel like I'm at because I have so many other projects going on. I still work a full other salary job at the moment until this number, they flip essentially. So when local clicks surpasses my salary, could this number be more? Absolutely. But then again, we're doing super highly relevant local touch points. So 35 people talk to. I would prefer for this to be, calls, something that it's not just cold calling and leaving it very vague, right? So really it's only 420 people a year. Honestly, like if you reach out to, 5 people a day, you're gonna far surpass this. You'll be 150 touch points per month. Could it work? Absolutely, but I gotta keep in mind too, if I'm working in a small area, I only have so many clients I can reach out to before I start going, expanding my radius essentially. So it's not a volume game necessarily because I don't want to burn through my leads. If I have 1,000 leads in total, I don't want to burn through that and feel rushed. I'd rather take my time and be very precise and spend time building good relationships over volume. So quality over quantity, because I don't service the whole US. That's not the goal of this. This goal is within probably about an hour radius of me. So I don't know how many businesses there is, but there's definitely enough to reach this number. I do know that. So yeah, so once we meet up with them, audit in person, and I'm just gonna try to sell them on the point, like on the spot. So I'll go ahead and meet up with them, give them an audit, and I want them to pay. So I want them to pay too, and onboard them right then and there. That's an ideal scenario, because now it's one meeting that I've closed, collected payment, and I've onboarded them. I don't need that much more from them besides like a monthly meeting or whatever they would like. And the reasoning for that is just from a time perspective. At a $297 offer, I don't have a lot of time to be meeting 2-3 times with these people, because the hourly rate of this, to make sense from me, is like right around $80 an hour. So if it takes me 3 meetings with them, then I'm already 220, what is that? Yeah, 220 into that. It's not worth it. Now if I can meet up with them for 1 hour, because this is your hourly rate. This is where I want my hourly rate to be around. This will inevitably increase, but with this pricing model, that's where it's at. So all business decisions have to be made in accordance to this. The programs I use, the people I hire, it needs to make sense on the back end. But yeah, so I can sit here and ramble on for hours and hours, but this is what we got. I'll go ahead and put all this stuff into a Google Sheet, as well as all this numbers, just so we can see everything from an analytical point of view. And I will see you guys on episode 4. All right, peace.